Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's Nightbird video. We did a Nightbird video about 6-7 hours ago, but we've had a couple of big things happen since that video, right? We didn't get anything on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Obviously, we're expecting the next QR code to be on SmackDown later today, but we did get something in the early hours of Friday here in the UK. So that would have been later on Thursday night in America. And it was this. So we need to talk about this, but I do have something else that I want to show you that I think is going to blow your mind, right? This is a good video, right? It's a good video. I know as well there's a few people asking, when's Unseen coming back? Because Unseen was our video series that we did every day, where we would look at what's going on in the world of WWE. And obviously, Nightbird has just took up so much time, but I do want to bring Unseen back. I'm going to look to do that next Tuesday, I think. We're going to try and bring Unseen back. It's just so difficult because there's just so much to talk about with this. This is all my notifications are at the moment is Nightbirds. It's all my emails are. It's all my DMs are. It's just Nightbird, 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 Nightbird at the moment, right? People are so into this, and understandably so. They've done a great job with it. But let's get to this, shall we? This dropped last night, and actually, do you know what? I don't know what time. I don't know if there would be anything interesting in the time. That was something I meant to look at. Unfortunately, the images I've got don't give me the time that it dropped. This image here just kind of cuts off at the bottom. So if anyone knows the time that it dropped, that might be quite interesting. I have had a few people asking the question, who took this picture? Which is a very good question. Who took this picture? I mean, obviously we think this is Howdy. And this is a bird, but who actually took the picture? Could it be one of the new members of the group? Could it be the therapist? You know, it's a very interesting question. Maybe it was just someone that does bird watching, you know, and they saw this and they recognized Howdy and they sent it over to WWE. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? They've not presented it that way. They've just put it up with the word signs and wonders, right? They've just gone with that phrase. So let's have a look at the picture anyway, right? If we go big and then whoosh it over. So bit of water at the bottom, but there's nothing to do with that. There's nothing special about that. It's just water. And so you can see that it goes up to the bank, and then we've got Howdy, and then we've got this, which I believe to be a bird in flight. I am interested in this here. I don't know if that's a person sitting down or a group maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, it does sort of look like he's got his head turned towards this direction. In my mind, I can see the hair sort of here, and then I can see the mask sort of here. And it does sort of look like he's looking more in this direction down here. So I do wonder if they're kind of all sat there. And actually what we see is him with his arms out. But has he actually got his arm more over to the side and he's kind of like looking at this arm? Is he looking this way, looking down this arm? Is he maybe pointing at somebody that's in a group that could be here? I don't know. I am interested by this. I mean, could it be a rock? Sure. Not the rock, but it could be a rock, right? So I don't know, but I can sort of, I feel like I can see the mask here and the hair there, right? It's very hard. It's very hard. I mean, it's very grainy. But clearly, this is the back of him with his arms outstretched. And I feel he has his head turned. And I do feel like he's looking more in this direction. And then that's what made me notice that. We don't know. If that's just a rock and he's just there on his own, we don't know quite what he's doing. I do like the idea of this being a ritual. I mean, maybe it's a day out. You know, when I was at school, we did have days out. So maybe he's took them to the park, he's took them to the woods. But I like the idea that actually they're here for, say, a baptism, some sort of ritual, so that they can join this group. There is another theory that part of the process of them really embracing who they are, remember who you are, being set free, right? Part of that process is to be brought down to these waters. There is a theory that this is the lake of reincarnation, right? Matt Hardy's lake of reincarnation. I'm struggling with that, to be honest, just because I don't think Matt Hardy's going to be part of this. And I know that people are going to say about TNA, and that's going to mean that Matt can come in. And there is definitely truth to that. There is definitely truth to that. But I don't know. I don't see Matt coming in and being like a permanent fixture of this group, to be honest. Before Jordan Gray showed up in NXT, I didn't expect him to be part of this at all. I know that there's a lot of people that would like to see Matt be a part of this, but none of the rumors have mentioned Matt. There's no word of Matt being involved. And even as I'm sat here now, I like the thought that this could connect to the Lake of Reincarnation, but I can't really go much further than saying it's a thought, it's a theory, it's, you know, an interesting one, but we could be anywhere here. We could be absolutely anywhere. I've been bombarded with people telling me where they think they are. I just don't know how we can ever tell unless we can find this exact spot, right? Unless we can find this exact spot. It's a wood, isn't it? It's a wood. It's a lake. It could be anywhere in the USA, right? So I think that's going to be very difficult to find this, right? To be honest, I don't know if that's what we need to worry about. I think that this is more just, here's a glimpse of Uncle Howdy. And I do wonder about this as well, about this swan. I feel like it probably is a swan. Certainly other people have got in touch thinking it's a swan, but I'm not a bird watcher. So honestly, I don't know. This could be a swallow. It could be a, you know, triceratops. I don't know. I don't know what this thing is, right? But it's flying. I know that. And it's white and it seems to have a long neck. And I definitely get swan vibes. So I have looked into a swan and there are some very interesting kind of connections there. What I would say is that sometimes if you look into these things, you can find connections. And, you know, it could be that that's a swallow. And if we looked into that, we might find some interesting connections as well. So it's hard to know what they're trying to communicate. The other thing I think as well is whoever took this picture may have just took the picture and it might have just flown past. And they may not have intended for this to have been there because it would be very difficult. Like, would they just be standing around just waiting and waiting for this bird to fly, you know? So it might be quite difficult to like capture this moment. But they took a few shots and this is the one they liked and this is the one that they've gone with. So again, it's very hard to know, like, did they intend to capture this bird in flight? Or what, did it just fly past? And they were just like, that's cool, we'll go with this one. So we've got Howdy. I believe he's got his back to us. We don't know why he's there. There may be some people here, but we're not sure. We think this is a swan, but we're not 100%. This may be the Lake of Reincarnation, but we don't know, right? So there's quite a few questions here. I'm sure you can agree. So let's see if we can start chipping away, shall we? Here, look, you can see the water that was at the bottom. There's nothing to that. There have been a few people saying they can see faces and things, but to be honest with you, I personally just think this is trees, bushes, and you know, normally you can kind of see some sort of a face in there if you look hard enough. I don't think there's anything to that personally. So we've got that. So Lux, shout out to you. This is an image that's a bit sharper, which is good actually. I don't know if we can maybe make out. No, still can't really make that out, can we, as to what's happening there? Although that is almost certainly a bird. I think you can even see a bit of yellow for where the beak is, kind of around here. That is pretty cool when you look at it, but I don't think that that is anything that we need to be like paying attention to, if you will. But I must admit, like, you can sort of see a beak there, two eyes, whatever, but there is that phenomenon, isn't there, where you can look at images and see faces if you really do look for faces. So I don't think there's anything to that. But yeah, this is a good, sharper image, and you can sort of maybe see a bit better Uncle Howdy sort of the mask here, the hair here? Is he kind of more looking towards his left? Again, I'm interested in that. I think that might just be part of a branch. I don't think that's a person standing in front of him, but either way, that is the image there. So a clearer view of the insanity that we call Uncle Howdy, said Vidal. I have not been this freaked out by pro wrestling since old school Taker Papa Shango days. So Vidal, shout out to you. Here's Nathan, right? Nathan is, what have we got here? Nathan says, if we go full screen, boom. The phrase signs and wonders appears in the Bible 31 times, with its origins in Exodus 7:3, which describes God's actions to free the Israelites from Egypt. In the Hebrew Bible, the word for sign is OT, and signs can have many purposes, including warning people, executing divine judgment, delivering people from oppression, guiding people, and marking sacred time. So that's interesting that signs and wonders features in the Bible so many times. So I like that. So Nathan, shout out to you. Here's Coco Creates, says Uncle Howdy found the lake of reincarnation. Now, again, I mean, we can go big on this, and you can see there is the lake of reincarnation. I honestly, without seeing that exact spot, I just don't know how we can say that this is connected. I mean, we can't rule it out. I'm not ruling it out. But equally, I can't go, yes, that's it. That's where they are. Because I can't see that exact spot. I can't see this exact area. You know, I can't see like this little tree and, you know, all of that. I just don't see that. So I don't know. It's an interesting thought, an interesting theory, and one that people have really gravitated towards. But we've seen before a lot of these popular theories that kind of don't go anywhere. So obviously, you know, the theory that the two therapists were the same person, I think everyone's come round to the idea now that they're not. And the theory that Alexa Bliss was backstage, but she has categorically come out and denied that it was her. Or the theory that that was Nikki Cross's house. And Rob Fears obviously posted a little clip from there on Monday. He could have gone round to her house, of course, but it would seem a little bit strange for him to pop round just to do what he did. Just to, it kind of felt a little bit more like he was showing us that it was his place. Maybe getting us back onto the right track. Don't know, it's tricky. It's tricky. So I'm definitely looking at this Matt Hardy thing. I'm definitely telling you about this Matt Hardy thing. But I'm not really going much further than that at this stage. Because how could you ever identify this area? I think that's going to be very, very difficult to do. Here we've got Bruno, who said the caption, signs and wonders, those words came from one of the pages in the journal. They are showing us signs and wonders before they arrive. So you can see here signs and wonders in the besides part of the journal. So Bruno, shout out to you. And Bruno again said also today was the holiday of Corpus Christi, considering the fact he's likely to return on June 17th on a city called Corpus Christi. That might have something to do with the teaser getting posted today. So apparently today was a holiday in Corpus Christi, and we got the teaser today. So is that a little bit of a roundabout link to Corpus Christi? Bruno again. Bruno killing it. Bray Wyatt forever. Uncle Howdy has always had a lot of Christianity elements and references. For example, his top hat used to have the crown of thorns around it. The crown of thorns is known for being placed on the head of Jesus Christ at his crucifixion. That, I think, was the first time we ever saw Howdy, when like the camera panned down and he was like, Howdy. As you can see on the top hat, they were using lights to display the image of a famous painting named The Creation of Adam. So that was being projected in the background when he was going, howdy. Cosmic Guy said he really is following his way. It's a really good point, this. I love this image here, because here you've got Uncle Howdy standing there with his arms out and his back seemingly turned to us. And then here, look, you've got Bray doing the same with his arms outstretched as well. So maybe he's delivering the words of the Red in this moment. Again, unless there's going to be more footage of this moment, we might never know. Matt says, Daze, with all this talk about signs and wonders, in John 4:48, it says, unless you people see signs and wonders, you will not believe. It's another believe reference, perhaps. Well, I kind of like that. I mean, it does very much fit in, doesn't it? You know, unless you people see signs and wonders, you will not believe. So they're now making us believe that they are arriving. This thing is clearly hotting up. I mean, it really doesn't feel like it's going to be too much further. I will be shocked if they're not in by June 17th. I will be shocked. Everything seems to be pointing towards that date, doesn't it? Right, Matt Hardy said, whenever I indulge, so, you know, I've looked into the Matt Hardy thing a little bit more. Whenever I indulge in a visit to the magical lake of reincarnation on the Hardy compound, I find peace and serenity, and often give new beginnings to obsolete vessels and objects. Now, this was written by Matt Hardy back in 2018. Right? So a lot of the themes that we're talking about, they're very old themes, reincarnation and rebirth and, you know, new beginnings to obsolete vessels. You know, these people that were lost, that were trying to help, you know, that's something that we've seen throughout mankind. And this tweet from Matt Hardy back in 2018. Niv did a great job. So I was actually doing the last NIGHTBIRD video and uploading that and doing work with that when this post dropped. So I wasn't able to get to this till, I think it was at least an hour after it had dropped. But Niv, within that time, had already done like a TikTok on it. And I shared that on, I think, both the YouTube channel and also on my social media, because I thought that it was just quick, concise, got to the point, everything that I can't do, basically. So Niv said, if this is the Lake of Reincarnation, could this mean that the Fiend might come back? When Bray went into the lake, next time we saw him, I believe, was when he started the Fiend character. Well, that's when, I believe you're right, I think that's when he started, I think it's when he started the Funhouse. I can't quite remember if we ended up having the Deleter of Worlds run after that, and then it was the Funhouse. I'd have to go back and have a look myself. But either way, I do like the Hardy connection, and I think I do have Niv's... Here we go. Do you have Niv's TikTok account, right? So here's Niv, and he posted this and found this old tweet as well, right? So here, look, you can see Matt Hardy saying the Lake of Reincarnation is very potent. The essence of Abigail may have been deleted, but now the Fiend has taken control of Bray Wyatt's vessel. Hashtag SummerSlam, right? Delightful. So this was a post that was put up by Matt Hardy, and I would imagine WWE as well. This went up on August 11th, 2019. And so Niv was just saying, like, maybe that's the 11 and the 19 that we saw the other day, which is an interesting thought. I'm not sure. I'm not sure for me that it is. I think, like, the 11 here is the day, for example. Like, the day and the year is a very weird thing for them to kind of highlight, you know? I feel like if they wanted to highlight this tweet, you would probably go with the 8, 11, 19 and do it that way. So I think I still favor a few other theories that are out there, but I still thought this was an excellent find. And this is a really good TikTok, which, as I said, I did put a link to it on the community tab, so you can check that out. So great work. Great work by Niv there, who, you know, as I said, took him next to no time to kind of pull all of that together. Did a fantastic job. So excellent work. This is this here. I just made this TikTok on this. I think that Uncle Howdy's Twitter photo had to do with the Fiend and the Lake of Reincarnation. And I found something about the 1119 hint that we found a few days ago. So, Niv, brilliant job, mate. Brilliant. Absolutely killed it. Stutz said it's the Lake of Reincarnation. Also, a white swan. White swans represent freedom and transformation. Bray was transformed in the Lake of Reincarnation. Again, I can't go as far as to say this is the Lake of Reincarnation, right? I can't go that far because I feel like any lake and woods is more than likely going to look a lot similar to another lake and woods, right? But it could be. There is a chance. There is a definite chance, right? But what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look over here at this. So I brought up Swan, spirit animal, right? As you do. I thought it'd be a fun thing to do on a Friday morning. So the Swan, spirit animal, is a powerful symbol of grace, beauty, and transformation. In many cultures, the swan is revered for its ability to navigate between the realms of water and air, representing the harmony between the physical and the spiritual worlds. How about that? So it shows harmony between the physical and the spiritual worlds. That is what the swan represents, apparently. Those who are drawn to the swan spirit animal often possess a deep inner strength and elegance. That's me. That is definitely me. They are able to navigate through life's challenges with poise and dignity, maintaining a sense of calm and balance even in turbulent times. The swan's ability to glide effortlessly across the water is a reminder to move through life with grace and fluidity, adapting to changing circumstances with ease. They might as well just put a picture of me there, mightn't they? They might as well just slap my face on this page. I think I have found my spirit animal. So there we go. Very good. Right, let's come off that. This was found as well, which was awesome, from Word of Wrestling, right? Did a brilliant job with this. So Word of Wrestling said, a tweet from Bo Dallas back in 2014. How fitting is this now in 2024, leading up to the return of Uncle Howdy? So look at this here. I got the whole world in my hands. I retweeted this thanks to Word of Wrestling. Because look at this image, man. It's so good. So good. Nothing to do with the picture that we were just looking at. But yeah, I thought this was great. So excellent work there from Word of Wrestling. And then this is the last one I've got in this folder, but we do still have something else to look at, and I think you're going to really like it. So they are onto us with this. It was tricky, and it could have had many meanings, but I think this is the one. They are in Cameron, New York tonight. Again, the opposite's white, black. So this is what NS Mommy 6 is thinking. So this apparently is Cameron Park Lake, right? Could be, might not be. I mean, a lake's a lake's a lake's a lake's a lake. And then here we've got Prince Charming. The bird. Black Swan lands at Cameron Park Lake. This black swan was recently spotted on the shoreline at Cameron Park Lake. It could be, I honestly, with this, I think we'll end up driving ourselves crazy on this one, to be honest. This is one that I think is going to absolutely drive us mental. So I just don't know. Unless someone can find the exact spot that Uncle Howdy was standing in, I don't think we need to worry too much about the location, because I just don't see how we're ever going to prove that it's the same location. Because I've already had like so many people sending me pictures of parks telling me this is where it's been taken, you know? So I just think it's going to drive us insane. It's just going to drive us insane. So that, I think, is going to be really tricky. But to be honest with you, I think the biggest takeaway is the fact that he is now showing us signs and wonders. He is now actually in view. He's in broad daylight. He is here. And, you know, the Swan, interesting. This thing here, interesting. Is this the Lake of Reincarnation? Interesting. But the bigger story is he's here. He's here. We have not seen him like this yet. So, quite a big tweet, to be honest. Quite a big tweet. I did put it on the community page to kind of gather up people's thoughts. And I was debating, should we do a video or not? Should we leave it? Because obviously we got the QR code tonight. But then other things happened. And so we ended up doing this video. Got a couple of fun things, man. Oh, man, this is good. Let's go down. Look at this. Duffman Reigns said, watching this Wendy Lucho woman keeps making me think of Colgate. Thank you, Rob Fee, for creating the smile of the year. This is brilliant. This dazzling smile always wins. And a QR code as well. I mean, I wouldn't scan it. You might end up buying a year's supply of Colgate or something, but one shade whiter teeth in 1 week. So she does look like a Colgate model. You're absolutely right. Very good. I love that. I thought that was a brilliant meme. Brilliant. Look at this. Liz says near, far, wherever you are. So there we go. We've got her on Titanic now. Oh, God. You lot are the best. You're the best. This is brilliant. Oh, I love this as well. Uncle Howie. Oh, look at this. Shaquem got in touch with WWE Shop following our last Nightbird video. He says, hi, Uncle Howie. He got the name wrong straight away. And this poor woman, she went, hi, this is Emma. Can I help you with anything tonight? Tonight? Is she having to work? Is she having to put up with this? I feel so sorry for this Emma woman. I mean, it's 10:27, right? I'm guessing in the UK. So 10:27, she's at work. She's like, oh, God, can I help you? And she's got someone asking for Uncle Howie, right? Do you know anything about Uncle Howie? Do you mean Uncle Howdy? Yes. Oh, God, I love it. I love it. We really inconvenienced Emma here. I bet she was just, I don't need this. I don't need this. You know, I wanted to be a doctor. I thought of being a surgeon. I've got people asking me for Uncle Howie. Still got 6 hours of my shift as well. I loved this. This honestly made me laugh so much. Look at this. Tristan said, Taylor returned to Rob Fee. You guys have got my son out here creating his own Uncle Howdy storyline. This is his son. This is his son. You come to me. I will set you free. I hope that's free and not fire, right? Now you will let me in. Don't come in and you will run. Could you imagine coming home or waking up, coming downstairs, your son's not around and all there is just a piece of paper on the kitchen table and you find this? It's not good, man. That's not good, is it? That's not good. It's worth pointing out that Tristan's son is 37 as well. So probably need to clean up the handwriting. But other than that, Killed it, mate. Killed it. So, no, that's brilliant. All joking aside, that is... Well, I would say brilliant, but it also deeply concerning. I'd imagine that Tristan is very concerned. Very concerned. So I would definitely be locking the knives away. Let's just put it that way. And then this as well. I didn't know if we would get to it in the other folder, but yeah, very good. Right, so theories. Now, this is going to connect. If you saw the last Nightbird video, which you should have by now, it's already been up like 6-7 hours, come on, right? You'll know that there was a big bombshell. That bombshell is that we don't think on the Cavebird shirt, we don't think that those are spurts of water, right? Actually, there was an image found in an old QR code that makes it actually look like they are arches. So now people are looking into arches to try and figure out what this thing is, right? People are looking into these arches. So I've been sent a lot of this stuff. There is a massive development on this. There is a big development on this. We're going to get to it. We're just going to take a walk through this first, because those arches, they do feel like Roman architecture. And that would make sense because I think that, like, this is something which we could dig into and explore, that kind of mythology and, you know, going back to, like, ancient Rome and whatever. I'm sure there's connections that can be made there. So, yeah, it would make sense. I'd definitely be interested in seeing, like, where this leads. So people were sending me stuff like this. I like this as well, though. These arches, they could be the Acropolis in Greece. That takes us back to Plato. I really like that one, so that's why I added that in the folder. Devil's Favourite Dipshiz said, have you checked out the pictures of Glenfinnan Viaduct in Scotland? So again, that would connect us to Clash at the Castle. I thought that was good. Here we've got Gibson saying, and here look, you can see these have turned out to be arches, right? So they're not water fountains. This is not that water fountain at Corpus Christi. So here we've got Gibson saying, are the arches on the Nightbird t-shirt supposed to be the ruins of the Volubilis in Morocco? I looked up the meaning of Volubilis, having the habit of twinning, changeable, unstable, which is very interesting. I mean, honestly, this is another one where you go, I just don't know. I mean, it could be something like that. Maybe a different angle further away. It might be something like this. Like, I really like the connection to Plato and everything. So maybe it's something here. Like, oh, you just kind of go through this stuff and you're like, I just don't know. Cohen said, I looked a bit deeper in the arches that we saw in the QR codes. The Coliseum in Rome had connections to the god Pluto, right? So definitely interested. You might remember in the last video I said I don't think it's the Roman Coliseum, because I was looking at the arches and I was trying to count them, and then I was comparing them and I just couldn't get it to work. So I didn't go with that. But here, look, Pluto was the Roman god of death and the underworlds. Right, festivals of the winter were associated with the dead and the underworld. When Pluto was particularly worshipped, animal sacrifices were made to the god at the Roman Coliseum, when a marble altar was set in the middle of the arena, complete with a burning fire. So this is all Roman mythology to do with Pluto, right? And how they did animal sacrifices in the Roman Coliseum. So let's do that, right? Here we've got, I stumbled upon this recently. At the 43-second mark, a familiar face pops up. Isn't this the face that's been in some of the cryptic videos? This is something different, actually. We might as well look at it now, though, whilst we're on it. This is the one, I believe. So this is from all the way back in 2014. So I do believe this face has shown itself a few times. In fact, that static creature, for a while, I leant towards this being what was in the static. I do think a lot of the imagery we're getting could be stock images. It could be images from the past. So something like this could flash up during the QR code. People could spend ages looking into it. It's actually something we've had back in 2014. So just be aware of that. So yes, sex, drugs, and Swedish chef. Excellent. Yes, well done. Nick said, what if the establishment is the likes of Cena, Orton, Reigns, Becky, Charlotte, the stars that have been holding others back? Will they be potential targets? Big Match John is a prime candidate. So that's just the theory that the establishment journal entry, the establishment might be the established stars, those names, your Cenas, your Ortons, your Romans, those names that are at the very top, that are maybe blocking the younger talent coming through. Maybe that's the establishment. Interesting thought. Here, look, we got David Gaddy said, I can get behind the Stone Arch Bridge, especially the black and white photo. Roman aqueducts look similar. I really like the Roman thing. I do like that, right? I just don't think it's the Roman Coliseum. But that then leads to these kind of aqueducts, right? So there's David's. Then we got this. So this was Tyson who said, I posted my thoughts earlier. The Cavebird shirt was an ancient Roman theater, but now I believe that it is Pluto's gate to hell. I don't think it's Pluto's gate to hell because I'm only aware of this. And I didn't even know there was a Pluto's gate to hell, but there is. It's this. This is Pluto's gate to hell, right? But it's not that. It's not that. Here. Mr. Rage Bomb 321 said, in the same Sol Rutilio, right, with a little more scrubbing through, it does show the rest. I believe it is the Coliseum. So I said I didn't think it was the Coliseum. It's now looking like it is the Coliseum. We can now see. So the bit we've been seeing has been this. So these here have appeared to be those water fountains, yeah? Well, actually, if you go back to this QR code, I think it's from the 19th of April, right? If you go back to this, you can freeze it at certain points where the picture kind of like glitches a bit and it reveals a little bit more. It reveals a little bit more. And there's even more that it reveals because Mr. Rage Bomb here has very kindly sent this image in and it's a bit cropped and quite focused. But I found the image, I went back, I found it, I screenshotted it. There's other things that I'm interested in as well. But yeah, look, this is Mr. Rage Bomb. Mr. Rage Bomb 321 deserves all the credit for this. All the credit for this, right? Because we've been trying to tackle with that. And of course, you know, NS Mommy was the one that found this. You know, you got to give NS Mommy some credit. She was the one that went back and found that this thing obviously featured in that QR code back in the 19th. But then Mr. Rage Bomb went back and found that you can actually see more. And that does look like the Coliseum, right? But I've got the bigger image, which should be right here. Now, it's big. It's really hard to make out, but you can see in the middle what looks to be that Coliseum that we were just looking at. Behind it appears to be the moon. On top of the Coliseum appears to be the Nightbirds. And what I'm interested in is at the sides of where we are, from our perspective, there appears to be windows. I feel like we're standing in a church, looking at the Coliseum, looking at the moon, looking at this Nightbird, but I feel like we're standing somewhere. We're standing in some religious, big windowed, stained glass windowed church or religious building, right? I've had a little look around to see what I could find. If you like go onto Google Maps and have a look, there's lots of churches and things that are around. I don't know how much we need to worry about this. I don't know how much we need to continue digging into this. It would be good to just 100% confirm that this is the Coliseum. I mean, it feels pretty good, doesn't it? It feels pretty good that it is, because you can see it's got levels to it, and you can see that like part of it is kind of missing. So now that it's like zoomed out, it does feel quite good. So I'm definitely on board with it being the Coliseum. I can't say 100% that it is, but I'm so excited for this to be out there now and for you lot to see it so that you can start making your minds up. You've got the same information as me. But yeah, it feels good. Roman Coliseum now. This is why no one should ever listen to me, right? But again, look, we've got these windows on the side. So I think that's kind of interesting. I don't know if this is a real place. I don't know because clearly there's not a bird that big, right? And I don't know if the moon would ever like rise or go down right behind the Coliseum like that and be that big. So there may have been some altering with this image. You know, there's every chance this is an image that you can get from copyright free, royalty free. There's every chance this is that image, right? If we go searching through like those copyright free places, we might find Coliseum, moon, bird, church, and it might spit back this result. But I don't know. This needs a bit more digging. But yeah, we've come a long way, man. We've come a long way from looking at that Corpus Christi fountain and thinking it was that to now where we are here. Like, this is really cool. This is really cool. I feel like we've actually made some progress. You know, it is a bit frustrating when like you take a step backwards, you know. It is a bit frustrating. I did the video earlier where I had to basically say, we don't think it's that fountain. We don't think it's connected to that place anymore. Still some amazing discoveries, though. You know, still some amazing things that we found that I don't even know if they know about, right? I don't know. If they don't, I hope they've been watching. I hope they know about them now. So there's been some amazing discoveries, like, you know, the layout of that fountain, the fact it's in a circle, it's got the path, and you can sort of see a bit of a Pluto symbol and stuff like this. Some amazing stuff. But look at where we are now. Look at where we are now. So quite satisfying, I would say. And I hope you are feeling satisfied, right? Ready for the QR code tonight. But if you want to have a little pick at something, you can maybe have a little pick at this. And if you really are feeling brave, you can see if you can figure out where Bray, Uncle Howdy, was standing, right? You could maybe tackle that if you're feeling really brave. If you can try and identify that park or that woodland and that lake. But as I said, I think one of the leading theories is that it could be the lake in reincarnation, but don't know. And that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support. I will see you later. We will be live for SmackDown. And when that QR code drops, we'll be ready to get our teeth into it. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.